Today, I've got every single Premier League fan here in this one room to predict the new season.
All 20 fans will go into the position they think their team will finish this season. Once confirmed, I'll jump into the mix and we'll discuss all about it. But as a majority, the fans will vote to lock in each place.
All right, we're in a rough position. We'll come to the front actually in a second. Let's go to the middle here and start off with mid-table. Henry, let's jump here. Bournemouth, selling your best players. You're in ninth.
Yeah, I mean, we've been selling our best players, but I think we've recruited well so far. I think we knew Kirkes and Howson were going to go. We've replaced Kirkes with Truffert, who I think is going to do really well. We've already got Senesi as sort of the come-in for Howson. So I think this really depends on Zabani, if he leaves or not, if PSG go and get him. But then we've kept Semenyo, we've kept like that forward line, and we've seen what Areola can do with not mediocre players, but players that aren't world beaters. I think this is a ninth again.
If you lost Zabani, would you come this way a bit more?
But again, I trust the recruitment. Look at the recruitment we've been doing with this new ownership, the new president of football. We always go and recruit and replace players well. So no, I think I trust the club. So I don't think we'll get Europe again. But I think
everyone happy with Bournemouth there?
That feels a bit high.
Yeah,
a bit high, a little bit high.
They've got a good manager.
Yeah, I think Areola makes a massive
difference.
Okay, hands up if you think Bournemouth should be in ninth. We might end up having to come down anyway, because it's about 7 on 1, 2 and 3. So we'll leave you there and maybe we'll push down. Quickly, Everton, Kai, David Moyes is back. Good times are rolling, new stadium, Barry up top.
Do you know what? We might be back. We might be back.
You're so back.
We are so back. I'm going to say it. We've got 13 fit senior players at the minute. Ignore that because that doesn't matter. What actually matters is who we're going to bring in. 150 million to spend allegedly, getting linked to some massive names. Names that from foreign leagues that we just don't get mentioned with usually. We usually just buy Premier League players that know the league, and that's just not the way to go about it. This time next year, we will be selling a lot of players, but it'll be for profit, and it'll be because we finish here.
And we all seem okay for Everton?
I'm backing it.
Higher, I mean.
I'm backing it.
High?
I'm fully backing it.
Okay.
Up the toffees.
Okay. Again, why not I'll actually jump over to first and maybe we deal with that because that might push a few down and go from there. We will get to Forest because I think Forest is very interesting. Okay, we currently have a Newcastle fan, a Chelsea fan, an Arsenal fan, a Liverpool fan, and a Man City fan for 1, 2, and 3. That's not how maths works, so we're going to have to figure this out. Firstly, mainly because he's on a crutch, and it might be easier to chat to him first. Lewis, Newcastle, talk to me. You're about to lose Alexander Isak. Maybe. We'll see. You haven't necessarily spent lots of money on transfers. You're in the Champions League again, but does mean you're going to be playing against tough opposition all the time. Going to be using the first team quite a lot.
Yeah.
What makes you think you should be so high?
You've made a great argument there. It's really hard to fight, but what I would say is last season we made no signings and we actually sold immensely and we won a cup and finished almost second at one point. We almost finished above Arsenal. So this is me banking on the magic of Eddie Howe. And also us actually recruiting. If Isak goes, we get 150 million and we're going to go big on Sesko, whoever. And if not, we keep Isak and we make some additional signings. So I am backing the manager against all logic.
I love it. But as a majority, do we back Newcastle to be in the top 3? Put your hands if so, yes. Okay. Do we back Newcastle to be in the top 4?
No.
I think they do if you keep Isak and he actually plays.
They didn't get top 4 last year though.
No. But at the same time, you have to think that last year, our only signing was Lewis Hall, like 2 seasons before. Like, FFP has been a huge problem, and although we're not spending right now, we can spend. So I feel like we're writing off Newcastle too easily. Like, for us to almost even go near the top 4 last season was like mental, along with the trophy. So never mind when we actually signed some players.
I agree, but you didn't have Europe either, and I thought when you're Champions League, you really kind of dramatically fell off a cliff. So I can see the same happening this season.
Yeah, that was brutal.
No one wants to join them.
No. So that Champions League season, remember, Tonali wasn't around. That came very early for us. Again, Eddie Howe overachieved with a squad that was relegation bound just the season before. So I think you have to look at the trajectory of the club, and the trajectory of other clubs like Arsenal, where some are winners and some are moving forward and some are stagnating, and I fancy us for being able to take over Arsenal. I think what I'm saying is I should stay third, and I feel like Arsenal should go fourth.
Sadly, the majority has already got you at fifth.
Brilliant.
But where keep in mind he's in a crutch, so maybe let's send him all the way to 12th. But where do we think Newcastle should be the fifth best placed team this season? Sixth.
What's going on here, Leeds?
Okay, hands up for fifth.
Oh, you are all bitter fans.
Okay. Oh, we're going to put you down to Spurs at the moment, Lewis.
Oh, that's insulting.
Anyone think lower than sixth?
You're putting us lower than sixth.
Just two, unfortunately.
Again, it depends on
If we're here, they better be down there.
based off what, Lewis?
What have you done?
We've not sold anyone, but we've not bought anyone. We've got the same squad that got us to a Champions League quarter-final, FA Cup semi-final, and finished sixth.
Oh, I mean a lot of semi-finals. We actually won Summit and finished higher than you in the league. We finished higher than you in the
You have Europe to worry about. You didn't have Europe. We got to a Champions League quarter-final. We gave PSG the hardest game they've had all season.
Warwick, so
This squad is more than capable. We've got Europa League, so it'll be easier than the Champions League. We'll win the Europa League. We'll finish fifth. I don't think that's a ridiculous thing to say. We've got
Emmy's falling off.
We'll get to Villa. We will get to Villa because at the
crazy.
moment there's Spurs and Newcastle in sixth. I will take the mic back. Thank you. There for now, Lewis. We're going to get to the top half here. 4 teams currently in the top half. We have, of course, Manchester City. You can kind of poke in a little bit more. We've got Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. Firstly, guys, Liverpool to win the league. Hands up. Oh my God. Well, okay, the majority has already voted for Liverpool to win the league. That feels fair enough. If Isaac joins as well, even more believe that Liverpool are going to win it. So you've said nothing and come first. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. I'm sure we'll talk about Liverpool as well in a bit. Manchester City, Arsenal, and Chelsea. I'm going to give you guys each like 30 seconds or so to say why you think you should go into the second or third position. So if you can start for me, my friend. Camera's there, say your piece.
Sure. So we came 12th, we came 6th, we came 4th. I think we keep making those jumps. Like the gap was like 5 points, I think, between 2nd and 4th. The season just gone. I think City they're in their rebuild. I'm not completely sold on what they're doing or their business. Like January feels like a bit of panic buys. I think we look a bit more premeditated at the moment. And with Arsenal, like they've been regressing. I feel like each season in terms of going forward. I'm not convinced if Gyökeres, hits the ground running. And I kind of feel like we're just making leaps and bounds and showing that we can get things over the line and win things now. So next jump is third, I think.
Okay. Rory, please. Arsenal, why second?
Yes, we're very good at finishing second. Statistically, it's probable. And I thought I'd turn up early doors today and just play the humble gimmick. So internally, really, I think we're winning it. But I'll take second.
Had his hand up for Liverpool to win the league.
Yeah, the humble gimmick.
No, okay, fair. Manchester City, please.
I personally think we come first.
Okay.
We had a dodgy season, but we were still only 3 points off second place. We're on the rebuild. I honestly think it depends on Liverpool if they get Isaac or not. If they do, I think Liverpool own the league, personally. But if they don't, I think City can just about take it off Liverpool.
But otherwise, second place could be if they get Isaac.
Second place, yeah.
Okay, let's get our hands up and voting for second place. If you're voting for Man City second, put your hand up. Okay, for Arsenal second, what are we saying?
Problem is, I think Arsenal are going to win the league, so I can't vote for either.
But who do you think above City? Or Chelsea would also get involved. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. The exact number, which makes it a little bit more difficult.
No, I'm going to switch to City. I was thinking that I think City will come second.
Okay, so who thinks Chelsea are second?
Liverpool.
What?
No, world champions.
So that would put Man City into second, Arsenal into third, and Chelsea into fourth. There we go, like, if you can get into that position. There we go, nice, thank you.
Guys, just before we carry on, in the last video, over 90% of you weren't subscribed to the channel. So please change that. It will make a huge difference to me. And it also shows as well that this is the content that you're enjoying that I need to do more of.
Okay, we'll come back up and sort out this bit in a second. Let's get down there and have a little chat around 14th, 15th, 16th, because that seems quite interesting here. We've got a couple of the new boys as well that have been promoted. Sunderland, Leeds, talk to me. You're currently above 3 current Premier League teams. You've been here for a little while now. Why?
I think we'll finish 15th. The recruitment that we've done has been probably one of the best in the Premier League. I actually genuinely believe that. I think Daniel Farke is the only person that is going to cost us, but I think Leeds are in a position now where we'll just say after 2 months, if he's doing nothing, you're gone, unfortunately. We were going to appoint a new manager in the summer. We didn't in the end because we wanted to back Farke, so I think that decision will be easy to be made. I also think that we are a proper Premier League club. I think that this time around as well, with the extension, I know that doesn't give us a God-given right, but with the extension that's coming to Ellen Road, if we aren't in the Premier League come the end of this season, then it's going to be a bad state of affairs at Leeds United. However, I think that we are going to do that. You saw the season that we came in, the first season, a couple of years ago, we finished 10th or 11th or something. We were one of the best teams in the newly promoted teams anyway. And I think that I'm more than confident that we're not going to be down that sort of end, 19th, 20th, 18th. I think that we'll show ourselves a very good account, and Leeds being in the Premier League is good for everyone.
Everyone agree with that? Well, that's okay. I do like Sunderland, please have a little chat to me. You've been doing incredible business, absolutely outrageous business. Why do you think you can do so well?
Well, again, as he said, it's down to recruitment. It's still relatively early in the window. Sunderland historically get everything done on deadline day at best, and so it's been a really fresh approach that we've had. I've been swayed a little bit by the here we go on Granit Xhaka. I might have been at 16th or 17th had I not just seen that, but I think that's the sort of difference maker signing that can guide a club to promotion. He's going to come in, he's probably going to get the armband straight away, and I think he'll just raise the standards and he'll instill the sort of fight and the aggressiveness and the tenacity that you need to go toe-to-toe with these Premier League teams. And I think in terms of play style, we've always, especially in the lower divisions, played worse against the teams who deploy a low block. They sit back and they try and hit you on the counter. No team is going to be scared of Sunderland and sit back, and we always play better against better football and sides. Obviously, half these ones up here are going to play us off the park, and I've got no doubt about that, but we've showed, especially in the playoffs, that we can sit back, we can absorb that pressure. You've got the likes of Dan Ballard, who would head a missile back if he had to, and we've got the players like Mayenda, obviously Adingra's come in, Talby's come in, who looks raw but he looks rapid. I think we're just going to sit back, hit teams on the counter, and the same sort of counter-attacking style that Forest deploy at times, we're going to surprise a few teams, get a few results. And I think in terms of compared to the other promoted sides, I think our play style is more well equipped to stay up. Obviously Burnley, who's down the bottom, their entire play style last season was based on their watertight defence, and obviously when you lose in Trafford, they've lost Egan Riley on the free, you can't be as confident in attack when you're more concerned about conceding goals. So I do think they're going to be down there. But I will caveat this with, we need a keeper, we need at least one defender, and we need probably one more striker just for depth. But if we have the end to the window that I'm anticipating, I'm confident we'll stay up.
Okay.
You just compared to Forest, which is, I get that's probably how you're going to play, but they had defensively Milenkovic, they had Murillo, they had Sells. You've got Dan Ballard, who, will head a missile, but he's got 2 left feet, he's toilet apart from that. You've got Patterson, who again, even you said is not great, you need a new GK. I think defensively, that is what's going to let you down, because attacking wise, like you say, you've signed some great players. I mean, AFCON's going to be a problem for you boys in January, and I don't think you're going to be staying in the Premier League come January. I think January could cause a bit of an upset for you. I think defensively, you are really going to struggle. Going forward, you might be exciting. I think the only sort of positive defensively which you can take is the fact that you play at Stadium of Light. I think it's a great stadium. I think that the fans will make it difficult for opposing teams to come, but apart from that, defensively, I think you're really, really poor, my man.
As it stands, I completely agree, but what you haven't mentioned there, we've just signed Ronaldo from Atletico Madrid. He's played Champions League football, he's got that experience at the top level. He's going to come in and be sort of a senior figure to guide our younger players. As I said, this is on the premise that we do get the reinforcements that we need, because as it stands, we're getting absolutely packed off every single team, because we're just not having the likes of Luke O'Nien, I absolutely love to bits, but I'm terrified at the thought of him up against the likes of Mateta, the likes of Strand Larsen, the likes of Haaland, because he is small and he's good technically, and we need to, if we're going to bring in a new defender, it needs to be someone like that Lusumi who we're after from Bologna. He's good on the ball, he can put the pass out. That's what we need, someone who can replicate somewhat his ball playing ability, but also be a bit more defensively solid. And I think if we get the keeper, because again, Patterson, a local lad, love him a bit, but he's a good shot stopper. His kicking's atrocious and his command of area is shaky at times. You need someone with a better all-around game at the top level. But if we get at least one solid defender, I would trust O'Nien or Ballard against alongside a top centre-back. Play them together, I think we'll get absolutely pummeled. But I would against alongside Lusumi, I'd have no problem playing Dan Ballard. I think he would have had a Premier League move already had it not been for his injury problems, because when he first came to Sunderland, he was on it.
Interesting. Okay. Before we change everything here, let's chat to a couple more of the ones down here. I just want to say, Jacob, I respect it. I really do. It is very respectful. Guys, okay. Brentford, really quick, we're at 16th. Say, I guess, maybe 30 seconds or so why we all kind of know. over there is the issue. They've taken half the squad and team. But why do you think 16th?
I mean, we've got a really good team. We've lost with we're going to lose with We've lost Norgard, Flecken, and Burmo, but our recruitment is quite good. We've got Henderson, who I know people might not be sold on.
Premier League experience.
Exactly, yeah.
Winner of the title.
Premier League captain winner.
Yeah, Champions League winner.
You've got Keith Andrews.
Yeah, that's the one problem. That is the one problem.
What do you mean the one problem? He's your manager.
No.
The one problem's our manager. Oh, right, well, fair enough.
But I think just the quality of our squad with a couple more signings, maybe a centre back, a striker, right wing, will just be fine. Like, we're not going to push up there this season, but 17th, 16th, maybe even 15th, I think.
And Brentford have always shown when they lose a key player, they've got like the setup behind the scenes to kind of replace them.
3 or 4. You lose Tony, they still haven't
well. That is a big thing. Thomas Frank is a big thing. It is. Now it's 3 and the manager.
It's Thomas Frank, Brentford, you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, we'll change in a second. We both on 17th here. Okay. Yeah. No one is admitting relegation. West Ham, please ask why. Aaron, please.
So we're our squad's a mess, and it has been for a few seasons, mainly through like the end of Moyes' era. But Lopetegui was there for 6 months, signed some players, and then we replaced the manager again. Potter hasn't had any real signings yet, apart from kind of a left back and backup fullback at the moment. So we really need to build the squad. We've lost 8 players for free. So at the moment we're a bit of a mess. I think we will invest some money. We obviously sold Kudus, which hurt, but it's given us some money that we can maybe invest later on. We tend to do kind of deals later in the window. So I'm hoping that we'll kind of pick up some players and then we'll move up. But I think even if we don't, I mean, Burnley's resigned to being down and these two are so overambitious. I think we're going to be here even if we sign no one.
You'll be safe. Okay. And Wolves, why do you think, for instance, you've just lost Cunha as well, a key player?
Don't need him. It's the others I'm worried about. So obviously, Semedo's gone. Nori's gone. Sarabia's gone. Clutch players. Cunha, don't need him. We do not need him at all. He was a problematic. Yes, he scored goals. I loved him at the time, but I've unfollowed him on Instagram now, so bye-bye. But look, I know, yeah. Oh, George Orton's unfollowed. But anyway, you two are completely deluded. Because you're going on about Granit Xhaka. We've got João Gomez and Andre, 10 times the player. But look, the thing is with Wolves, we have the worst owners in the league. 5 years, and we're the only team in the Premier League with positive net spend in the last 5 years. So that shows that basically we sell our gems and we replace them with rocks. However, if they see we're going down, they want that Premier League status. So they will invest in January. Shown last season by bringing in Marshall Manetzi and Emmanuel Agbadou.
Yeah, really good signings.
Exactly. 2 Januaries before, you bring in Cunha, you bring in Sarabia, Dorse, all those kinds of players. So look, we're not going to be great. It's not going to be good. However, we're better than these two. We're better than them. We don't have to play well. We probably will stay up. And if we are struggling, we'll sign players in January and we'll get it done.
Your saving grace is your manager.
Yeah, Vitor. And he goes for pints in the pub. So
he's a man of the people. A man of the people.
Look, if Wolves go down, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd be very disappointed. But hey, Championship away days. Beautiful.
Yeah, no, perfect. Perfect. Well done. Okay, guys. I'm going to hand a mic over here for now. But as the majority, let's give a word quickly to Jacob. Burnley, 20th.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's very well. You know, we are finishing rock bottom. But I do think there's a lot of teams up there that talk a lot of nonsense. The disrespect to Brentford, I think, is mental. Like, to criticise a manager and then everyone says Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank came through from being in a similar position to their new manager. So you can't really go against someone who you don't know anything about. None of us know anything about Brentford's manager. You look at Sunderland and Leeds, great. I think they'll put up a great fight. But to go and whack yourself so high up above these established teams is mental. Sunderland's defence isn't great. Leeds' attack isn't great. There's still things that where they are levels away from anyone really right now. I mean, at least we this. I mean, we got Kyle Walker at the back, so like, I mean, I could have whacked us in 10th. I mean, if we're going down the experience route, like, you know, Ronaldo, Kyle Walker won a treble not long ago. That doesn't mean we're finishing top 10.
He did. Okay. I do respect the honesty though. Majority-wise now, guys, let's start off with Wolves. Do we think Wolves are going to get relegated? Hands up if you think you're going to get relegated. 4, 5. Okay, 5. Hands up if you think West Ham are getting relegated. Okay, 2 for West Ham. I think you're safe. Okay. For Brentford now, hands up if you think they're getting relegated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, Brentford for now. I'm going to put you into 19th if that's okay. I do apologise. Sunderland, do we think they're getting relegated? Hands up. And then for Leeds, do you think they're getting relegated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
wrong.
8, 9. Jack, if you could please go to 18th.
What a result.
Okay. Okay. No. Let's give it a second. Let's give it a second. Are Sunderland going to do better than Wolves?
No.
Okay. So you go to 17th. West Ham go to 15th. 16th for Wolves. We all feel quite happy with the mid section at the moment, yeah? We'll jump into this section now quickly to get things sorted. Let's head over to Manchester United then quickly. 8th, 12th last, 15th last year. Jesus, yeah. God, I was going to say. 15th
it's a big
last
jump.
year, nearly double jump. How do you feel Amarin's going to do this year? Will Amarin be in charge?
That's the question, because I think there's a lot of pressure on Amarin to succeed in the early games. And if we're going into the start of the Premier League season with Mbeumo and Cunha as our only signings, not addressing striker, goalkeeper, even midfield, there's some question marks there. And we have a tough fixture. We've got Arsenal, City, some really hard games early on. There's going to be pressure on Amarin, and I feel like it could take a few weeks or months for those new signings to gel. So there is a little bit of a concern there that Amarin could be sacked. He wasn't very convincing when he came in. Like, of course, Ahmad injured, Xerxes injured, you lose Rashford, Anthony, you don't replace them. There was literally Højlund and Garnacho as our only fit attackers for 3 months. So obviously Cunha and Mbeumo coming in is going to make a huge difference there. But I've got mixed thoughts. I think 8th, because I feel like we will sign 1 or 2 more players. I think we'll look at striker. I'd like someone experienced to come in, maybe a goalkeeper. I don't know what's happening there. But I look at Amarin, second season at Sporting, he won the league. Obviously not going to do that with Manchester United. But I look at a lot of our games. Villa, last game of the season, we were really good. The pre-season friendly we played, I don't know it's only pre-season friendly versus West Ham, we were quite good. There was encouraging signs of us getting higher up the pitch, more energy. And I'm thinking 1 game a week, when we play with more energy and we get higher up the pitch, we're better. When we had a lot of games that actually we weren't that bad in, but we weren't good in either, like with the Nottingham Forest, the 1-0 loss, we could have scored in that game and won that game. We lost 1-0 to Wolves for a Sarabia free kick, but again, Garnacho was missing loads of big chances. There's a lot of games that we lost that I'm like, well, if we didn't have Højlund up top and you replaced it with like Mbeumo and Cunha's output, maybe we turn them into more points. But I can't go higher than 8th because there's no one else in the door yet. And I feel like 8th is quite a big jump, but I'm thinking the 1 game a week is going to benefit us and Amarin having time with the squad. And also, like, people forget we have a lot of really young players. Like, Dorgu's still very young. I think he's got a big season ahead. Yoro was really good in the end. He had a shaky start, but he ended really well. Maino, there's a player in there, he had injury issues. And even some of our new signings like Xerxes, they showed something towards the back end. So I feel like it can't be any worse. 8th might be a push, but so far, we'll see what happens in the summer.
Okay.
I think you'll climb up the table from 15th, but like Cunha and Mbeumo are 2 of the biggest overperformers last year, and there's no way that they repeat that, both of them, in a new system, in a squad that's just in such low like kind of energy and morale at the moment. So I think you'll probably climb up, but I think 8th is just a stretch too far.
Okay, well, to be fair, once we've got Spurs and Newcastle, it might end up shifting down slightly, but I think very well raised point. Brighton, Matt, talk to me. Obviously, good season last year, have just lost João Pedro, who at times was a bit of a key player for you. How are you feeling? Do you think you could push for Europe this year?
Yeah, I think with our outgoings we did quite well. We got 60 million for João Pedro. To be honest, that's looking like a bit of a bargain now. We sold Adingra as well to Sunderland. Happy, honestly, he's crap, honestly.
Really?
He's really not that good.
I love Adingra.
He's not that good.
Okay, interesting.
Trying to watch Adingra playing hurts a high press.
Okay.
Anyway, I think last year we spent about 250 million on players who needed a season to bed in, and they've really done that. You look at players like O'Reilly, Gruder, for example. We spent a lot of money, but it's going to be on players that will be good this season. I think last season was a bit of a transition season, so yeah, I think we'll be up there again for sure.
Okay. And then let's do the 3 clubs over here, Villa, Spurs and Newcastle. We've heard from Lewis, we'll come back to Lewis at the end. Sonny, talk to me about Tottenham. New manager, new players, drew 0-0 with Luton in the pre-season game. They outshot you. What are we feeling like?
You might have wondered what I'm doing here or how I got here, but we've made our best signing this summer. That's Thomas Frank. Ange Postecoglou was not going to be a coherent manager. All them down there when they sack their managers, they won't go for Ange Postecoglou. I guarantee that. Because it just wasn't going to work. And I know but he won't keep you up. He won't keep you up. He won't keep you up. Because he proved that the best football we played...
He kept you up.
True, but the best football we played was when he got a bit more defensive. And Thomas Frank is going to reset us. He's going to. We've seen. I know we've played Reading. You said there, Luton 0-0. We didn't get 1-0 against under Ange's tenure. And sometimes you need a 0-0 in the Premier League. You know, you need to reset.
You really don't need any 0-0.
Realise what you're doing. I think
it's pre-season. It's pre-season.
No, I'm just saying. Ange's football was just not built for this league.
Yeah.
Thomas Frank has proven he can improve players. I think Kudos is a fantastic signing for the price as well with what we've seen wingers go for. And I don't think we need a lot more. I mean, I know we missed out on Morgan Gibbs-White. He's decided to stay at Mr. Marinakis FC.
Decided. He has decided to stay
in his
at
hostage
Nottingham
video.
Forest.
But apart from that, I mean, keeping Romero will be big. Keeping Van der Ven fit will be big. I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see that high line's going to be reduced. We're going to be sensible. I'll be honest. I'll be happy with any of these positions
just
this
not
season.
17th.
Just not 17th, and that won't happen.
Yeah,
that will not happen.
Got Vuskovic as well.
Yeah, Vuskovic.
He is very exciting.
He'll be better than Saliba.
Matt, Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Still got Watkins. Still got Rodgers.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people would say a bad window. I don't think it's been as bad as people would say because we've still got all the main boys. Watkins is still a Villa player. Martin is. Kamara's just signed a new 5-year contract. Rodgers looks like he's going to stay. This team last year, I know Lewis just said it didn't get us any trophies, but it did get us to a Champions League quarter-final, FA Cup semi-final, and got us 6th. I think we've got, I would say, the 3rd best manager in the league after Guardiola and Slot.
Remember, they did beat PSG. Not on aggregate, just
I don't think that's too controversial to say. And with that squad and that manager, they got 6th last year. We've got Europe again, but hopefully it'll be a little bit easier than the Champions League. Emery's a specialist in the Europa League. I think we'll go far in that. I think, given Spurs won it last year, we've got to really put claret and blue ribbons on it next year. But yeah, I think we'll be pushing there or thereabouts again.
Okay. For 5th place from Newcastle, Villa or Spurs, as a group, who do we think? Should Newcastle be in 5th place? Okay, Newcastle going into 5th. I don't need to do all the maths.
I think 8th. Depending on the window.
Majority. I do agree. We are doing it at a time where Isak hasn't left. This will go out next week. So unless things change drastically, which they very much could do, because Diaz has just gone to Bayern Munich, we'll have it there. Very quickly, if he does leave, who does it change it for? Do they drop out of the top 6?
No way.
They think 5th or 6th.
Regardless, like, let's say Isak goes, like, we're literally in negotiations now with Sesko and Wissa. We have a massive pot of money to spend, something that yous don't have. Yous have actually the quite opposite, where yous need to sell, if anything.
We don't need to sell.
To even have a discussion with Spurs and Villa, yous are cute, if anything. They're just swimming in our wake. You're swimming in our wake. I don't know how there's a chat.
I think what you said about Unai Emery being the 3rd best manager in the league is completely spot on. I think that will make such a difference.
Based off what?
Just from his record.
So, no.
What do you mean based off what?
Okay. So based off Eddie Howe taking a team that was getting relegated.
We were getting relegated.
I think Eddie Howe is class. I do think that. But also the fact you've just said about Visser and Sesko. Sesko is such a chance. You have no idea what he's going to do. I think the fact that Arsenal didn't go for Sesko is the best thing that they could have done.
Fair,
if he goes to you, I think he'll be honestly so average. Visser, offering 25 million for Visser is an absolute insult. Just give him 40 million. Then maybe that conversation's up for debate. But I think that Villa, as it stands right now, are 5th. If Isak goes, 100% Villa.
On the transfer, so you're saying that of Sesko, can you name one bad signing in the new regime now that Newcastle's had? Can you name one? Every single one has been brilliant.
Yeah, Lloyd Kelly.
Lloyd Kelly. Okay, no, we're there. Oh, you all look a bit thick now. We're there. Lloyd Kelly. How much did he cost? How much did he cost?
Free.
He was free. How much did we sell him for 6 months later?
15
20 million. 20 million to Juventus. So is that a bad signing? No, that is actually our best signing. We've turned him 6 months, 20 million profit on Lloyd Kelly. But no, making it serious, genuinely, every single signing, from the Dan Burns, from the Trippier who came in, the boss, Bruno G, everyone has been unbelievable as a signing. So although we're not acting quick, when we make a signing, I'm very confident they're always the right player.
I was going to say, those are your top.
Don't talk about Chris Wood.
Okay. And then finally, guys, for our 6th, 7th battle, and I think everyone's going to move down one. Aston Villa versus Spurs. If you think Spurs are going to have a better season than Aston Villa, put your hands up.
I haven't even put my hand up.
Okay, yeah. So okay. Villa at 6th, 7th.
No, can we not talk about Man United real quick?
We did. But United will go to 9th.
They should be 12th. They should be.
Okay, we can change. Do we think United should be in 10th?
No, lower. There's no way Man United. I'm sorry, Alice. I know you said Amorim is stealing a living. I think has he got a 30 million buyout clause in him? I won't give him 30 quid. That bloke, honest to God, and I'm not even doing this because it's Leeds Man United. I get the rivalry, but honest to God, Amorim, his record last season was so bad. You touched on the signings of Cunha. The way Amorim plays football is very sort of pressive. He likes runners. Last season, no player walked more in the Premier League than Matheus Cunha. That is one of the. It's just a ridiculous signing. Buemo, I really like. I think it's a great signing as well. But I think 8 is so generous after what we saw from you guys last season. You were honestly embarrassingly bad, and you'll admit that as Manchester United. And I just think that Amorim is just stealing a living in that job.
I'm not fully convinced by Ruben Amorim. I'm going to say that. But I also know that the squad is pretty rubbish, and he inherited a bad squad. Ahmad got injured, Rashford left, Anthony left, Xerxes got injured. He only had 2 fit attackers in Garnacho and Højlund for 3 months. And I think, it wasn't good. I don't like the back 5. I don't like how he uses his central centre-back to step up. It's not working. We don't have that profile. There's questions over the midfield. But I look at it and I just think we should be in that top 10 at least. Like we have, we talk about the squad being bad, but we still have players like Bruno Fernandes and Buemo that are good players, and the money we spent, we should be in the top 8. It's a question around it. I'm sort of going off the assumption that we do go and do the business that needs to be done. The 1 game a week will make a big difference. But what we've done this year, which I think is really important, is Premier League proven signings. We talk about Cunha and him walking, but in pre-season he was running a lot. He's looked good so far. Obviously it's only pre-season, but he's hungry. he looks hungry, and the way he speaks, I like Cunha. I think we need someone with a bit of flair that can create something out of nothing. I'm not 100% convinced on 8th, but I've gone it because we're Man United. We should be getting in this 8th. I'm not 100% convinced.
You're not convinced about the manager or the midfield or the defence. How does that lead to 8?
As a group, do we think United should be? Let's start with 10th. Any higher than 10th?
Yeah, higher than 10th.
So you think 10th?
Right, top 10.
I think Crystal Palace and Manchester United should swap.
No.
They
might lose Gay. They might lose Gay and
Let's
Eze.
hold on a second here, guys. Let's hold on a second here. We've got to also, there is a majority, and at the moment, the majority actually hasn't voted Man United to be lower than 10th. If you can put your hand up if you want United to be lower than 10th, please do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The majority has said no, unfortunately. So do you think they should be 9th then?
I think 10th.
So we think, so who thinks United should be 10th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alice, if you could go to 10th.
But it's interesting though, because if you actually break it down, who has better players on paper, Bournemouth or Man United? It's obviously United.
Yeah, but we're a well-drilled system.
I'm not trying to glaze United here, but what I'm saying is, look at their squad. They've brought in good players. It was a terrible season last season, but they had loads of injuries. I just think to have Bournemouth up ahead of Man United, it's just no.
Yeah, but look where we finished last season.
Okay,
well,
so who thinks
they're going to bring in more?
To make it easier, who thinks Bournemouth should be above United?
Definitely.
Hand up.
Definitely.
Okay. So if we stay where we are at the moment, because we do need more questions to get through. So we're currently at this. Let's chat quickly about Forest. Let's talk about Everton. Do we think Everton should be below Nottingham Forest? No. Okay, so Everton below Nottingham Forest. Do we think Everton are below Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
What?
6, 7, 8, 9. Do we think Everton are below Fulham?
It's getting
Ready?
This is outrageous.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you. Thoughts on Everton 13th?
You're underrating us. Just wait for it.
Okay.
It's a great stadium.
It's a great
really good stadium.
Ollie, Crystal Palace in 12th.
It is our spiritual home. There is some logic behind that, though. Obviously, we ended last season really well. The reason we finished even as low as we did last year was just the start of the season. We had like no pre-season with any of our players. But I do think European football is a difficult challenge. Like I'm not saying this will happen. A good season for Palace is going far in Europe and staying up. Honestly,
definitely.
But I think we're okay. We'll get some signings in. I think we're better than Forest. I don't
Okay.
think Forest should be there.
Well, Forest, I was
I'm
going to say.
biased. I really like Forest as well.
Quickly talk to me about your season. Obviously, you've kept Morgan Gibbs-White. Yes. You've.
He loves the club, doesn't he?
Sold Alanga, yeah, loves the club. Sold Alanga, though, as well. Do you feel like, obviously, you were at times battling for Champions League football last season? Do you think that's going to change then, obviously?
Well, I don't think that we're going to be in the contention for Champions League. Definitely not. I think potentially sort of getting around here, but we having to play in Europe now, and I don't really think that we just don't have the squad depth for it at the minute. And I think that the issue with Palace and Forest at the minute, deciding who's going to be in which European competition, is really hurting both of our transfer windows, because players don't know if they want to come for Conference League, and they don't know if they want to come for Europa League or Conference League or whatever, and it just means that everything's moving really slowly. And I think the fact that Nuno really loves a proper pre-season, where he has the chance to get all the players to gel in, and he's just not going to be able to do that, because we know that the CAS or UEFA or whatever are going to push it all the way to the deadline on the 11th of August, or I think that's when it is, on the 11th of August. We know that they're going to push it that far, and then there's less than a week until the season starts. And I think that that's just really going to hurt us. Obviously, Europe, whichever form that may be, will mean that, well, an already pretty thin squad is going to be, we're going to have question marks. And it's all a matter of what we can do in the transfer window, and if we can do it in the next week or so.
Okay.
Because if we can't, then I think we're looking around here.
Okay, well, finally, I think the only person that's not really had a mention. Go ahead, Jack. Maybe if you grab a mic, yeah.
This is exactly what happens to Fulham constantly. This is heritage. I think we're a little bit low here, I'll be honest. We are the only club not to have spent a penny so far. We're also the only club not to have made a sale, so that's good. There is 0 incomings and 0 outgoings at the Cottage at the moment, which is fine, I think. In terms of look around us and see clubs being picked off left, right and centre. Unfortunately, my friends down the road down there, the worst of this, but I think we're seeing it a little bit at Bournemouth as well. Marco Silva likes a settled squad. He likes a slightly older squad. I think there's going to be a couple of interesting incomings. I think Raheem Sterling's going to rock up at the Cottage. And hang on. No. Hold me out. There is, obviously, Raheem has been dreadful for some time, right? Yeah. But Marco Silva does a rejuvenation clinic at the Bank of the Thames. Willian turned up and everyone was like, what the hell's that about? And turns out into a baller.
He's been amazing ever since he's been there.
There's been so many. Pereira was excellent, where he didn't get a game at Manchester United. You look at a lot. Iwobi's been brilliant. There have been so many players who people wrote off and just sort of randomly rocked up under Marco Silva. And he was like, yeah, that'll work out. I think Emil Smith-Rowe lands this season, finally, which could be important in terms of giving him the space to stretch. I think we're a little bit low. I don't think we're miles below where we need to be, and obviously currently having signed no one, it's hard to kind of make any huge arguments. But I think we'll work out a couple of decent deals, and I think we'll probably be about
a little bit higher
there. Yeah.
Okay, well, for the majority of what everyone's spoken about, I'll grab the mics, and this is basically what we have said, from Liverpool in top to the relegation candidates being Burnley, Brentford and Leeds. I know Jack is not very happy about that. I will quickly just get a thought here on Liverpool winning the league, second time in a row. How would that be like?
Just got to practice.
Oh, you actually... Okay,
just
21.
Practicing that.
That's quite
Sorry,
good. That's quite good. It's very good.
No, look, honestly, it's been surreal. And I think the fact that we haven't lost anyone key as such. We sold Quansah, which is a lot of money extra that's come in. We've got Diaz going, Nunez is going, Trent, snakes on a plane, what you do. But honestly, the recruitment's been so key, and it feels like last season was our transition season. In all honesty, we didn't play great. We had a lot of matches. We struggled against Brighton, we struggled against United, we struggled against Everton. And there's players coming in like Florian Wirtz, Isak, please, I'll have Isak. Ekitike, we're getting linked with Mark Gahey, we're getting linked with Rodrigo. It just doesn't feel like it's slowing down, and the manner in which we won it last season wasn't the highs we saw with Pep, like the highs we saw with Jurgen Klopp, but it feels like there's composure, things are being ran well behind the scenes, we're selling the right players, we're bringing in people who fit the system, and there's nothing in my mind that's making me think that, as well as Arsenal have recruited, as well as City have recruited, it just feels like we're years ahead at the moment, and if we get Isak through the door, it's just above and beyond.
Yeah, I think it's quite frightening for the rest of the league, isn't it, if they end up getting Alexander Isak. Well, guys, this is our submitted predictions for next season, for the 2025-2026 season, with Liverpool winning the lot and, of course, our bottom three, Leeds, Brentford and Burnley. Let us know in the comments below what you think of them and if there's any changes that you would have.
So there we have it, guys. Here is your entire list for the Premier League. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. And make sure, as I said earlier, you'll subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Next week, we've got a big one coming out on Monday as well, along with the podcast every single Friday. Let me know your full season predictions down there as well, and who you agree with and disagree with in the comment section too. Thanks, as always, for the huge love and support for all of these videos, and I'll see you guys very, very soon.